Hey folks, welcome to the Leeds Gamer. It's prediction time again. But before I get into it, do please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please give the video a like and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. Really do appreciate it, and it's all free to do as well. And it only takes a few seconds. So do please do it if you could. So, let's get straight into it. Now, in League One, 4 go down, 4 enter the playoff, and 2 go up automatically. So, that new rule they brought in is just for the Championship as far as I'm aware. So, let's start with the four unfortunate souls going down. And no, I'm not going to sing any more Disney. Right, not on this video. Who's possibly getting chopped? I think Burton might struggle. Bromley are just going up, aren't they? They didn't leave at first time. They might struggle. I'll position everyone from top to bottom after I get them in the right zones, if you like. Who else could join them? Cambridge are kind of a yo-yo team between League 1 and League 2, aren't they, I think. And then who's going to be fourth? We've got Burton, Bromley, Cambridge. See, this division's got a couple of outliers, hasn't it? With Sheffield Wednesday and Leicester City. Very difficult to predict where they're going to finish, isn't it? They're a pair of basket cases right now. Massive rebuilding process at Wednesday, and then obviously Leicester are just, well, they're not in good shape at all, are they, right now? So yeah, it's quite difficult. You'd expect Wednesday to have a massive rebuilding process now that they've kind of changed owners and all that. Got the big stadium, haven't they? You know, a lot of history. Leicester, a little bit of history themselves, and quite a lot of pulling power as far as the club size is concerned. So they've got that to try and counteract the fact that in the modern day those two clubs are in such terrible situations. Who's the fourth that's going to join? You know what? I don't like them. Let's put them in there. MK Dons. All right, let's position them. Let's say that Franchise United is a lot of people go. MK Dons are going to finish bottom, and then Burton, then Cambridge, then Bromley. I think Bromley might make a fight of it. They're going up in good form. They're going to be up for the challenge, aren't they? You know, they've never been in that division before, so it's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. You never know. So, who's making up the bottom half? Feels like a reasonably strong division, doesn't it? In a lot of areas. You know, for the level it is. Quite a lot of former Premier League clubs in this division. Well, let's just go through that quickly. Barnsley, Blackpool, technically Wimbledon, albeit it's not the real Wimbledon, as in the original Wimbledon, but AFC Wimbledon are closer to that Wimbledon than MK Dons. So anyway, you got them: Barnsley, Blackpool, Bradford, Huddersfield. I sometimes forget Huddersfield have been in Prem. Leicester won the damn thing once. Luton have been in there briefly. Oh boy. Who else have we got? Reading were in there a long time ago. Sheffield Wednesday's obviously had a lot of time in the Prem back in the early days of its existence. Wigan had a couple of seasons as well, didn't they? Got quite far in the cups as well, if I remember. So there's a lot of kind of figurehead teams in this division, if you like. You've got the oldest club in the country in Notts County. I know Sheffield FC are, but oldest professional club. Who else have you got that's quite sizable? Oh, that might be about it, but that's half the division. This is really hard. So bottom half, Peterborough, probably Wimbledon. They're punching above the weight in League One, aren't they? Really, but they're they're an outfit that could go far if maybe they had a bit more money. I've seen some people say that Mansfield might do quite well. This is so hard. We need another 6 teams in this bottom half. It would have been easier to start at the bloody top. Doncaster didn't have a right good time, did they, last season? So let's put them in bottom half. You see, can I really see Sheffield Wednesday and Leicester being in that top half at the moment with all the turmoil that they're going through? I'm not so sure. I'm gonna have to put them in. Like I think they'll both be towards the top of the bottom half, but I just can't see a world where those two finish in the top half currently. Again, my thoughts might change, when I do the proper predictions a bit later on, in a few weeks' time. So we need another 3. See, you've got clubs like Reading that you'd expect to put up a good fight of it, and maybe even Wigan. I don't know what I'm basing this on, but I'll go Stockport. Stevenage and Stockport. Badge designs are practically identical. In terms of the actual layout, you've got your circle inside another circle. You've got the dates on either side. They both begin with S. It's all there. See, I've heard that Wigan might lose their goalkeeper Tickle, and he's supposed to be quite good. So then you've got to get a new first choice goalkeeper. So maybe Wigan might struggle a bit. Leyton Orient weren't all that great last season, were they? We just need one more to complete this little set. Probably going to have to go Leyton Orient. Just going to think they might have to try and rebuild a little bit again. So in terms of positionings, I'll probably go with that. I'll probably say Leicester and Sheffield Wednesday are going to be 13th and 14th. I think Wimbledon could struggle, if I'm honest. I think Peterborough will struggle. Apologies if you can hardly see those blue badges, by the way. The Peterborough and Sheffield Wednesday badges that are on here are a little difficult on that background. I couldn't change the background to a lighter background for some reason, so I do apologise on that. Doncaster, again, they did struggle a bit, didn't they? So I'll have to put them down a bit. And then we'll go with Stevenage and Stockport. Yeah, that makes a little bit of sense to me. Right, now we need 4 clubs. I think. Hold on. Or do we need 6? 6, isn't it? Come on, Clive, get your maths right. We need 6 to go in that top half that are going to miss out. County. Wigan. Wycombe. Oxford have just come down from Champ, haven't they? So they should probably be quite solid. Luton weren't all that long ago at that level. Blackpool, let's put them in there because they've been a bit meh. I'm not going to go with all the hype with Mansfield, but they're going to get a credible top half. Not based on any knowledge whatsoever, really. Right, so who's that leaving? Who's the one team? Who's the one other that's missing out here? Let's say. Ooh, I'm torn between Reading and Luton. Let's say. I'm going to say Luton. Don't know why. So the ones closest to the playoffs, Luton, because they were definitely, definitely in my thoughts of being in and around that. I'm going to say there's been a lot of hype about Mansfield, so we'll say that they're not going to be that far off. Wycombe's been there or thereabouts in the past, haven't they? And then we'll go Wigan or Blackpool. Feels like neither here nor there, doesn't it? Really? We'll go with that, I think. All right. So who's going to sneak in there? Well, I said that Reading were sneaky sneakers. Barnsley. Who's the other two going to be? Who do I think is going to win the division? Who do I think might be so? Right, you know what? Let's put the Groovy Greens of Plymouth in there. You know what? I think it could be a West Yorkshire shootout. I'm going to put Oxford in here. So, in terms of order, because they wear a Groovy Green, I'm going to put Plymouth third. We'll go Oxford fourth, Barnsley fifth, and Reading sixth. How about that? So, this is going to be a West Yorkshire shootout between Bradford City and Huddersfield Town. Who do I think is getting second? Who do I think is getting first? We're going to find out right now. Oh, I don't really have any issues with either of these two teams, and I don't particularly support either of these two teams either. They are just West Yorkshire teams, not quite as good as my own Leeds United. However, I think they will both have good seasons. I think they will both go up at this very early stage. I'm going to say that Huddersfield comes second, with Bradford City going up as champions. Now, let me point this out, folks. This has been done with no research whatsoever. I ain't got a chuffing clue about this division. I can't tell you who plays for these clubs. I can't tell you who manages these clubs. I'm just going off what tiny bit of knowledge I have, which is not about a lot when it comes to League One. However, when the World Cup is finished, I will be doing proper predictions when I've got a little bit of knowledge about who's been signed, where they've gone, who's managing who, and all that fun stuff. So I'll be doing that a lot closer to the start of the season. But at this stage, that's where I'm at with it, folks. With all that in mind, don't take this to heart. My opinions could change massively. And I mean massively. Excuse me, I need a cup of tea. My opinions could change absolutely massively between now and in a few weeks' time when the seasons are about to start. So this has just been for a bit of fun, so don't take it too serious. And as I say, I will put a bit more research in, well, quite a bit more research into all the divisions when the World Cup's done. So, with that in mind, folks, big thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this wacky world of crazy early predictions. They're all doing it. All content creators are doing them, so why the hell not? But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for the League 2 predictions, which I'll do either tomorrow or the day after. And then I will finish it up with the National League predictions. And I've got my first official run coming up for the Old School Retro Gaming League, run by my good friend Kevin, who is the Scottish Retro Gamer. So keep an eye out for that run. The game is Zombies Ate My Neighbours. I ain't getting far in it. Week 4 is going to be my week. Week 4 is Resident Evil 4, and I love that game. And I'm not bad at it either. So definitely keep an eye out for that one, because I'm going to really enjoy playing that. I'm probably going to stream it on my... I'm probably going to play it on my TV. So I'll have my camera facing the TV, so you won't have to see my ugly mug. Yeah, that should be a good one. Should be a good one. So, with all that juicy stuff in mind, folks, have a good one. See you next time. Bye for now.